1. Is there a medical condition if I smell popcorn?
Usually it's frying
Oh,
almonds.
yeah, almonds. All right. Welcome to Geek Boots Military Nerds. This is a great start so far. We talk about the big green weenie and how it likes to continue to fuck us. Just like how you go from cable and then everybody wants to do streaming. So either way, you're spending a fuck ton of money and you just wish there would be one that would have it all. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, didn't we used to have that?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
fun.
but there was commercials.
Yeah, well, commercials allowed me the ability to get up off my ass and use the bathroom or get food for a minute. So I
Okay,
appreciate
hold on.
Or you could press pause at any
No,
time
'cause I
and not
took-
wait.
Screw
Bill.
you. Totally watched Idiocracy the other night. And so when like the freezing chamber crashes through the dude's window and he gets up and from watching Ow My Balls and like he stands up and his couch automatically flushes for him. You don't need to leave. This will be we've seen so many parts of that movie come true. That
Yeah.
will be something that is available here probably within the next 15 years.
God, I
I
hope
mean,
not.
the first inclination was
I don't even
people
wanna
not
go into
knowing their
somebody's house.
history. It was people not knowing their history was the first inclination.
Mhm.
God. The world is 2015 years old. We made it, y'all. Praise Jesus. And I'm like, you are not doing Christians or the world any favors right
Any
now.
favors.
Anyway, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are kind of doing a catch up because last week we did our Memorial Day post. So that was very important that we focused on that. So tonight, or today, depending on when you listen to this, we are doing a combination of Detective Pikachu, doing a spoiler review, John Wick, where we go on to the franchise because some of us only watched John Wick recently, and we will be talking about Aladdin, giving a spoiler-free and spoiler review of Aladdin. So I think we should start with Detective Pikachu, considering that one came out first. Ladies and gentlemen, you're just again this. If you haven't seen Detective Pikachu and it's been out for a couple of weeks now, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Sucks
You're
to
probably
suck.
not gonna watch it.
Probably not gonna watch it. I'm just whatever it is, but yeah. Why don't we throw this over to Cosplay Jenemy? And Cosplay Jenemy, why don't you give your thoughts on Detective Pikachu?
I thought it was adorable. It was cute. Had a good time. I took my kiddos. One of them slept through the entire thing, except for the
Shit.
very end.
Detective Pikachu, ladies and gentlemen.
He's 5. He's 5.
If you're looking for a room that has free AC, go to the movie theaters and see Detective Pikachu out right now.
It's a very expensive nap. Which is funny because he was begging to go see it. Like for 2 weeks. Like, I want to go see Detective Pikachu. I want to go see Detective Pikachu. I have to watch Detective Pikachu. Like 5 minutes into the movie, I look over and he is like,
Ow.
out in the chair.
Nice.
And you didn't even bother to wake him up. You're like, you know what? Screw it.
Nope. He slept until the final battle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because there was way more noise on like what I would argue. Well, no, not the first battle, but maybe the second battle. Realistically, when they're at the fight club for Pokemon,
Yeah.
there's a lot of noises going on in that scene. So it's like that's hilarious. At least you got to see the grand finale with Ryan Reynolds. That
He did. He did get. Well, I mean, he didn't understand that, but he did see it.
You didn't understand it. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I thought it was cute. It was a good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I really appreciated how well the CGI was done. Although there were a couple of moments through the movie where I'm like, what the fuck happened to the CGI in this movie? There's like 3 scenes, and it's just like, yeah, this is where you're gonna go lazy. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. J4 has just entered the podcast in the middle of
What?
all of it. So, eating cereal out of a coffee mug. All right.
Nice.
Welcome, J4 to the middle of the podcast.
Milk and cereal, milk and cereal,
We're
milk and cereal, cereal and milk, cereal and milk.
we're currently talking about Detective Pikachu. I'm in the middle of what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy. Yeah, so the three moments where first moment is Squirtle. There's a scene where they're promoting this parade, and then this Squirtle does his thing to gets the floor wet so someone could come by with a mop and mop the floor, and you can tell it was like 90s CGI almost, like late 90s CGI. Like the Squirtle literally did not look like it was like blended in with the rest of the scene around him. So I was just like, oh, that's horrible. And then the fight scene with Charizard and whatever Pokemon it was, purple guy, I don't know what his name is. Pardon me, nerds, if I'm making you angry for not being able to name my Pokemon. I haven't watched it since I was 9, so give me some. But anyway, yeah, no, the purple dude, he looked like just like Squirtle. He wasn't blended with the rest of the scene going on, but Charizard looked fantastic. I was just like, oh, okay, so there's that. And
That's
then
where
there's
all the money
Priorities.
yeah, priorities.
Yes.
And then there's a shot where Mewtwo gets captured and he's held in like this like thing that keeps him suspended in air, and it just looked like everything was moving, and he was like, they didn't finish the CGI on him, so he didn't necessarily look blocky, but it just looked like this one stationary thing moving on a track being put into the back of this truck, and I'm just like, that was fucking horrible. Oh my god. So, and that, it was great. I felt like maybe the whole Ryan Reynolds part was a potential. I didn't know if it was going to happen. So when it did show up on screen, I gasped and went, "Oh my god, thank God!" Because they could totally pull it like a Darth Vader out of their ass and like have James Earl Jones. He's voicing Darth Vader, but when they take the helmet off, they get an entirely different actor underneath the helmet. I mean, I don't know why more people don't do that. Like, just saying.
Yeah.
If you want to keep the voice there, but you're looking for a specific actor to play the role, I don't see why it's such a hard concept to grasp. So, anyway, yeah, it was a fun time at the movies. I enjoyed it. I appreciated certain moments. I unfortunately do remember, and I say unfortunately, and with pride and acknowledgement, I did watch the first Pokemon movie where they introduced Mew and Mewtwo. And Mewtwo makes a comment about that movie. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been to that movie. I know what he's talking about. Haha. Everything else, I was just like, okay, this is happening. I did not like the blonde girl's acting at all, but everybody else is phenomenal. It's interesting to watch Ryan Reynolds do his normal sense of humor without swearing every other word. Like, there's certain scenes where he does a joke as Pikachu, and you're just like, that would have been better if he dropped motherfucker in the middle of that. Like, like it really would have been a lot better. So,
That PG-13 money, though.
yeah, right. PG-13 money. Well, he wanted this role so bad because he had seen the meme where not the meme, but the illustrations of certain Pokemon as Marvel and DC characters, and when they put Pikachu in a Deadpool suit, he saw that. He has reposted that, and he's loved on it and talked about it in interviews. But then on top of everything else, when you heard this live-action movie coming into fruition, he's like, finally, a movie my kids can see. Because he has been on the forefront. Every time a Deadpool movie comes out, he's like, no, do not take your kids to see my movies. Are you kidding me? What's wrong with you? And then people take their kids to see this movie, and then they complain. And then they
I
complain.
said don't.
My favorite, my favorite
I
one of
wish
all
there was.
time.
I really
was-
wish there was a thing that they put on movies that told
That's
you
what I
which
was.
was appropriate.
Yes, a woman went
Oh
on
man,
Facebook.
that'd be convenient, wouldn't it?
A woman went on Facebook and said, "I really wish they'd let someone know that a movie was gonna be like that before I take my kids to see it." And another person commented, going, "You mean the giant rated R slapped on the side of the movie?" I don't know, just a thought. like, like fucking A.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it was cool. I can see more movies coming out of it. All the way they ended it. I kind of hope they do. Mostly so the fact that Ryan Reynolds can have, movies that his kids can see of him. Because I'm sure he's not letting them see Van Wilder anytime soon.
How altruistic of you.
Right. So yeah, that was Detective Pikachu. J4, did you see Detective Pikachu or did you spare yourself?
I was working the one weekend. It was at the theater here, so I didn't get to see it.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
The only movie I've gotten to see recently has been I got to go see John Wick this weekend. Last weekend.
Yes.
Which is a great segue because here we go. John Wick, the franchise, and number 3. Why don't we let Single Dad take away on this one because he too did not watch Detective Pikachu, but
I did not. I will wholeheartedly admit that I did not see Detective Pikachu. The boys still want to go see it. I will probably see it with them this weekend at some point in between parties and dinners and soccer tournaments, etc., etc. So, okay, so on with John Wick. So, the first one, I remember when the first one came out, I was floored. I was blown away. The second one came out, I was like, holy crap, they stepped up their game. This one came out, I went into it, and I had friends that had gone to see the preview night on Tuesday on like all the red carpet stuff and everything. And all I heard was it was the greatest one of the franchise, best action movie ever, all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm looking forward to this. And I get there and I watch it, I'm like totally psyched and everything, and I'm like happy and okay, this is awesome. Okay, it's got to get awesomer. Damn it. So, I love the movie. Yeah, I love the movie. It was great. The action scenes were phenomenal. The technical training that they went through for this movie, absolutely phenomenal. The stunt work, again, brilliant. The fact that they're using the actual actors to do their own stunts. I love that because you have that feeling of, just a fluidity through the scenes and everything like that.
yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, there were some scenes that I thought were just like, okay, we could have ended this scene a while ago. And it's like they took the same, not the same shot, but the same action and did it 3, 4, 5 times in a row instead of like what we're used to seeing with John Wick is him being a complete total badass and his gun fu and basically just going, popping corners, killing, capping, turning around, people just using different situations and reacting to them differently. And this one, it just seemed like, okay, we're just going to take the same action sequence and do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row in the same combat scene. So it got a little annoying for me. Is it the best one of this series? I'll put it up there with one that I absolutely loved it. But as for it being the best action movie ever, I'm not going to say yes. So that's just my take on it.
Fair enough. All right. Why don't we throw it to J4 since we haven't seen him in fucking ever?
Yay!
Your turn, good sir.
I really enjoyed it. I'm kind of now that you mention it, I kind of do agree. There was a few of the fight scenes where things kept getting they kept dragging on. The action sequences kept being a little repetitive. But I really loved how every fight scene wasn't a gunfight this time.
Right.
it was nice to see. There was nice knife fights. There was sword fights. There was a goddamn horse fight.
Axe
There was
fight.
fights.
Axe fight. Axe fight.
There, yeah, there was an axe fight. There was fights on horses. There was fights on motorcycles.
Hand to hand.
Hand-to-hand fighting. We got to see the dude from Iron Chef once again in a movie, kicking people's asses. I forgot his name though.
Mark. It's Mark
What?
something. Mark
Yeah.
something.
Mark something. I like his name already.
That guy, Mark something. Great dude. No, it was really fun to watch him and his scenes. Halle Berry was awesome
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
with the dogs.
Which,
the dogs
again,
were
to
great.
add on to new fight scenes and new styles instead of just guns, dogs being used in the action. Because I've been waiting for that since he got the new one at the end of the first one.
And I love that he shot my dog. I get it. I get it. No dogs were killed in this movie. Doggy was wearing bulletproof vest, so there's that. Yeah, it was fun. I really liked that so when I saw the first one, I was expecting just a shoot 'em up movie, no real plot. But they've actually done a very decent job of building this assassin world, and each movie just kind of expands on it.
Yeah.
You get a more in-depth look at how this assassin world works, and it was interesting. I enjoyed it. It's fun.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Cosplay Genemy, what about you?
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
I haven't seen any of them. I
You
haven't seen
take-
any of them.
Right. Okay. Well, my turn. I loved it. I will be one of those people that says it's my favorite of the three. Each one of them has something that is brought to it that I like on a separate level. Like for me, the first one, the reason why I love it so much is it's basically getting revenge on the fact that you just killed a man's dog. For me, that's why I loved it so much. All you motherfuckers are gonna die because you killed a puppy. So now you're gonna die. Number two, I liked it because it opened up his world. It started opening it up a little bit, and how, yeah, it was just opening it up a little bit. Number three, I loved it purely for the actions sequences and adding on to the storyline, but not just for John Wick, but for all the other characters getting little moments, whether it be action or storyline. I really loved the hell out of that. Like, I loved that. What's his name? God, what's the character's name? The black gentleman who always takes the dog and is always there at the desk.
Oh, the
concierge.
concierge.
The concierge, yeah. I loved that he got to fucking be a badass in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he went
That's
out
the thing,
there.
yeah.
Like, I
love
love
his mannerisms too.
Yes, his mannerisms.
When he's
So-
showing off the guns.
Yeah.
I loved his character, especially for not just the fight scenes, but also that scene where just the taxi shows up and the dog's sitting there, and he goes, I see what's going on. So as a favor, he's just like, come on, boy, come on, dog. And dog just sitting there looking at him curious, and then just starts smiling and then runs on up. I'm like, yes, that's awesome. So cute and adorable. In the fact that it's in a movie about assassins kind of way. I loved the notion because he's sitting there trying to fix this and he's bringing this character along, and yeah, like J4 said, the whole he shot my dog, I get it.
I get it.
Like, even before then, because she's sitting there and yeah, the dog's alive, she's picking the bullet out, hiding it because the guy who shot the dog doesn't know, obviously, and John's sitting there going, just don't. And she's like, and pulls out the pistol and just starts going to fucking town. He helps her out because, you know, he wants to live too. And the dogs doing their thing was fucking amazing. How if someone had been shot, but they were out in the middle of the open area, the dog would grab the guy's ankle or his neck or his arm, drag them behind cover, and then she would take that extra shot to the head. It was it was just like, yes, extra violence. I like it. Like, I loved the motorcycle scenes. Those were interesting. The horseback fighting was awesome. I loved how Winston kind of pushed back, basically. You know, how do you expect to win? You forget something. We are not just the Continental. We are motherfucking New York. And I'm just like, oh shit, oh shit. And then adding on to it, how he's sitting there in his bunker and he's sipping on alcohol and
Cognac,
she tries to make a phone call and he just hangs up
Just
on
like,
her.
click.
Like, what the hell? Like, yeah, that was great. I thought the character you're speaking of, I thought his scenes were a little awkward and hilarious though. How he's chasing him down and he puts his hand on the step. And then he's about to gun him down right there and Concierge shows up and he goes, "Not one more step." And he goes, "Do you have any idea who this man is?" He goes, "Do you have any idea where he is right now? We are still Continental. This is still sacred ground. You are not allowed to commit anything on sacred ground. Sorry, I don't care who he is. Those are the rules. If he's here, he's under protection. It's just the way it is." And so they both are waiting and he gets all up close and personal with them. And he's just sitting next to him and John Wick's like, sits in the other chair and he goes, "John, I just want you to know I am so excited. I'm a huge
He just starts
fan."
fangirling.
I'm like, this guy's trying to kill John Wick, and he's all like, "I'm a huge fan." It's just like, well, wait a minute, what? And then at the end of it, I really loved how there was this honored fight between the two trainees and John, and he let them live. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to it, again, just amplifying his character, because you think, oh, he's getting old in his old age. He hasn't been in this for 5 years. He's like retired. He can't put up a good fight. But the reason why was because John Wick was essentially just sparring. Like, that's how he felt the fight was going anyway. So that's why he wasn't fighting to kill them. Also keeping in mind that he had no weapons. They were the ones that had the knives. So that's the reason why that went down. And then he shows up and they're fighting and John Wick becomes the Baba Yaga. He's all of a sudden, you see him 1 minute, look up, he's not there. And then he comes up from the shadows like fucking Batman and just beats the living shit out of you from behind. Like, that's John Wick. And I loved that. They were embodying the reason why out of number one. This is not, he's not so much the boogeyman. He's the man you hire to kill the fucking boogeyman. Yeah. And we got to see that in this movie. And yeah, I loved the, they were using pistols a lot against the armored forces. And they show up and it's kind of like the Mr. and Mrs. Wick in the elevator scene. Yeah. Smith. Elevator scene where they come back downstairs, they're kind of breathing a little heavily, but they're just acting normal as they grab shotguns and get high velocity rounds to take out these guys. I laughed really hard when they're in the pool and he takes the pistol and fires 3 rounds into the guy's neck. I'm like, all right, a little much, but that's hilarious. So overall, I loved it because in this movie, it is obvious. So John Wick, if you haven't checked out the interviews, John Wick, basically number one, while they were filming number one, they're like, how cool would it be if we did this? How cool would it be if we did that while filming? And they took all those ideas, went back to them, and they sculpted it around John Wick 2. But it's always been if the fans love the movie, we'll keep doing these. So in John Wick 3, in John Wick 3, that's what was happening, obviously, because they ended it where John Wick and Lawrence Fishburne's character, and you can tell, yeah, they're gonna go after the high table people, and everyone's gonna fucking die, and I'm like, I cannot fucking wait for this movie. I really appreciated an interview with the actor who plays the new kind of like homeless person assassin that's along with Lawrence Fishburne. He's been in a lot of comedy movies. He was on Conan not too long ago, and he goes, "Well, see, what you need to know, guys, is there's going to be a John Wick 5 as well. See, John Wick 4 is John Wick 4 and TikTok, because that's his name, or TikTok, and then John Wick 5 is just TikTok. TikTok 1 is the start of TikTok Chronicles." And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, God damn, I'm glad they hire comedians, because then when they do talk shows, they crack these kinds of jokes. Like, I would see that. He said his character, even on script, and if you IMDb it, it says TikTok man. Because his opening scene is he's doing his mumbling, drunken, homeless person thing, and then sees John Wick and goes, "Tick-tock, Mr. Wick, tick-tock." I also appreciated the use of books. I hope that becomes a meme soon. So he's killing somebody in a library. So this is for Cosplay Jenemy to learn now. He's killing somebody in a library. He's fighting someone in a library, and in order to kill him, he takes the spine of the book, slams it into the guy's mouth, and then just keeps repeatedly slamming it into it until he practically cuts his head in half off of the jaw.
Oh, yeah, at one point you can tell his jaw is fucking just broken, basically half hanging.
It is quite literally the literary equivalent of curb stomping someone.
Yeah.
Literally taking a book and shoving it down his throat.
The first thing when I saw that is I wanted to meme it into whenever somebody comments and they haven't checked the source material, I'm gonna use that now going, check the fucking source material and stop making stupid comments. Like, yes, it's gonna happen.
Let's just put it this way: if I could describe this movie in one word, it would be brutal.
Yeah. Yes. Very brutal.
Literally, like when you were talking about the shotguns, the first round to come out of a shotgun literally decapitated a dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
his head was no longer there.
Yeah. If I was one of these assassins and I'm sitting here going, look at all my armor and look at everything, and then they blow my buddy's head off, I'd drop the shotgun and walk out and be like, no,
I'm out.
Not worth my fucking life. I'm done. They'll kill you. I think John Wick's gonna kill them before they kill me. I think I'm good.
Hey, buddy, you need help?
Right. So yeah, that was John Wick. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I give it a 10 for 10. Actually, my buddy had stated this. He was in a Facebook chat, and they were talking about this guy goes, Avengers Endgame, best fight scene in a movie ever. And then he goes, I mean, I was thinking that too until I saw John Wick 3. And then I kind of had to change my mind. So, yeah, absolutely loved it. Yeah, that's John Wick 3. Now on to Aladdin. Now, hold on. J4, have you seen the movie yet? Do you care if we spoil it for you?
Okay.
Perfect.
First of all, the movie came out like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're not really going to spoil anything for you. Not the basic plot line.
Yeah, seriously. No, but considering we
this is the movie where the hero actually loses, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Jafar doesn't get to take over the kingdom.
No, actually, if anything, he becomes an actual genie, Djinn, so to speak, and he uses his powers and kills a whole bunch of people. So
he murdered hobos the whole world.
Yep, he just murders everything. It's fine. So
true hero.
Yep. So
right up.
Genevieve, since you had to sit there and listen to all of us,
Well, first of all, I would like to say how impressed I am that you remembered so many lines from a movie you saw once.
It was a good movie.
I don't care
was a good
how
movie.
much I
It's-
love
it's-
a movie.
it-
And
it's
there is like no memorization of anything until I've seen it like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times.
To be fair, John Wick follows a lot of the same construction or whatever you want to call it for a lot of action movies that came through the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, the dialogue is just one-liners. Like realistically,
I
and
know, but I
anything-
still can't remember one-liners like that. I'm just impressed when people can do that. Like I see people do it all the time, but
I was
I'm
gonna
still-
say, when the
I can't
majority
do
of the movie is fighting and the dialogue is at a minimum, it's really not that hard to memorize the lines.
especially when the
Oh, right.
dialogue itself is
to be
really
fair, I don't watch a lot of action
To be
movies.
fair.
good. And
Sorry.
and
I have to
again,
do that.
to be fair, is this
To
what
be
this episode's gonna be
fair.
called? Is the To Be Fair episode? No.
If anybody out there watches Letterkenny, you understand the To Be Fair reference. So if you
No.
don't watch Letterkenny, get on that shit right now.
We've only
I've
really,
seen a couple episodes. It's okay.
we've only really referenced like I don't know 1/4 of the dialogue because there's a lot more dialogue in this movie than we're letting on. But anyway, yes.
Granted.
It's not a
So
lot more, but there's more.
yeah. So cosplay Jenemy, it's your turn since we
Yes,
got
yes,
to do
yes.
all this. Aladdin.
I was kind of stalling for Single Dad to get back on anyways.
I appreciate that. Now I'm getting poked in the face with a Nerf sword. Ah,
And we can't
Ah.
see it, so we'll just
Yep, we can't see it.
all right.
I
My camera's on. It's okay. I can't see y'all either. So
I
oh,
can
sorry.
see myself sometimes.
Okay, so
Shh. Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
I am the resident Disney fanatic, so
Yes.
I
We
pretty
know.
much like anything Disney.
No way.
What?
To be fair.
To be fair.
There's really nothing Disney can do wrong in my eyes. No, I actually don't like every movie, but at least I give them all a fair shot. Oh, I can see him. So I loved it. I absolutely loved it. When they first started doing the live action, I was very skeptical of all the live actions. I understand why they're doing it because they don't want to lose their rights to the movie, so they have to redo them.
A part of me also feels like now that we're in that time period where the CGI and special effects is actually really well done and we've got more of a budget to create larger movies, we can actually do some of these amazing animated movies in live action, which is fine. I just hope they don't screw it up.
Yeah, exactly. I like that they're giving these princesses actual storylines, which, you know, in the past they did not do. And I absolutely fell in love with this one. I actually probably like this one better than any of the other ones that have come out so far.
Yeah,
But
which
to be-
which ones have come out so far? I know we've got Cinderella,
And Beauty and the
Maleficent.
Beast.
Beauty
And-
and
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Maleficent, which I'm glad they've done Maleficent instead of doing Aurora
Snow White.
because she
Or Sleeping Beauty.
yeah, because she really wasn't in the movie anyway.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the second one to be coming out.
And I like the twist that they put on that one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the reason why it's so refreshing is even though they're following the take blow for blow, you're coming at it through a whole new perspective.
Yes, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, I love that they are giving villains these backstories that you go, oh wait, they're not necessarily villains.
They're not evil per se, but they were put in a bad situation. and
Yeah.
they're reacting to it.
Absolutely. I love it when a movie gives a villain, the antagonist, a personality and there's something more to them than just being evil for the sake of evil.
Right. Like,
I mean, they did not do that for Jafar. He was just bad.
Yeah, he was just evil for the
he
sake
was
of evil.
bad. He was,
Yeah,
he
they
was
didn't give us-
greedy.
They didn't
Yeah.
really give us anything other than Red Greed. He just was.
Well, and again,
I mean, they did give us a little bit of backstory. They did say that he came from poverty and has worked his way up, which was
Yeah.
kind of an interesting twist on him. Because most
Kind of juxtapositional
It's-
Aladdin. I like it. I get it.
So instead of him disguising himself as the bald, long-bearded man with the cane in the animated movie, he straight up just what did he take? I can't remember. Did he take Aladdin or did he manage to rescue Aladdin from prison? I can't remember which one of the two. I do remember that he puts a sack over his head, takes him out in the desert, and then tells him his story. So it's a straight-on, I am Jafar. This is me. Now you know who I am.
And they kind of like skipped over like a lot of the introductory stuff like they did in the animated.
Yeah, like instead of
you didn't like get all of this random backstory. You just she is in the city already.
Yeah.
When you first kind of meet them.
She's a part of the riff. What was it, the Riff Raff song or whatever? The Street Rat song.
Street Rat. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, did they do the Street Rat song?
Yeah.
They did.
They do all of the. I would say they did all the songs.
Yes,
I think
plus
yeah, quite a few.
Plus they gave Jasmine some songs because she really didn't have any in the original. But to be fair, the original Aladdin was not supposed to be a princess movie. It was
the movie's named called Aladdin.
Yes, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be targeted at the boy audience.
It just wasn't.
And then girls ended up liking it because there was stuff in it. So this one tends to be a little more balanced in that princessy movie to action-y movie.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah, they did. I think they did a fantastic job. I liked where they went with it. I liked the updating of it. The outfits were phenomenal, and it was very much a American Bollywood.
But it was okay because it was
fantastic.
I looking at the casting, it looked like they didn't whitewash this one, which I kind of appreciate.
They absolutely did not. There was like one white guy in it, and he was
he
German?
was from like no. He was I think he was Norwegian or something like that. Yeah.
And he was a tool bag.
They kind of turned his character into the guy from Spaceballs who was supposed to marry the Princess Druidia, who kept yawning all the time. That was the vibe I got from his character.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. Prince
Valium.
Yeah, Prince Valium. That was the vibe I got from this guy because
he was awful.
Yeah, he was just like I don't know. It's hard to describe him other than that. That's the vibe I got from him. I'm like he was one hand gesture away from trying to hide a yawn, like straight up.
And they kept leaving him in the movie, like he was just randomly there, and you're like,
right? Yeah, like there's a scene...
Why is he still even here?
Yeah, I love that they comment on that too in this movie. He shows up at a party, and Jasmine goes, "Oh, you're still here." Like, it was great. Yeah, I loved it. Will Smith did a really great job because they, instead of Will Smith trying to be Robin Williams, they just had Will Smith be his quirky self to let that energy still flow. But when it came down to the music numbers, they let Will Smith be Will Smith, which is fit for this entire thing.
It was awesome, and they gave him more of a backstory as well.
Yeah.
Which was phenomenal. So there was a very different take on who the genie was.
Yeah, it was really great because Will Smith, you get to watch Will Smith do a bunch of music videos in the middle of a fucking movie, and it was great. I loved it because I actually grew up loving Will Smith's music videos. Wild Wild West, Men in Black 2, Nod Your Head, Getting Jiggy with It, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Summertime, things like that. Parents Just Don't Understand. A lot of music videos where he's got background dancers and stuff like that that were really good. So to have that incorporated in the movie was really great. And there are certain scenes where I had to argue Will Smith's part in his portrayal was, I know I'm going to get heat for this, better than the Robin Williams scenes.
Well, because there was more depth to him. There was so much more to the character itself
Right. There's
that, of course, him portraying this
Yeah.
character, it became better.
I appreciate the Prince Ali song in the animated one and in the live action, but for different reasons.
Yes.
With Robin Williams, I like that he took a break from doing the musical number and played little characters talking to the crowd. That was hilarious.
Yes.
But in this one, it was straight music video. The only scene that they did was where he put on drag, and then the freaking face mask comes off, the little veil comes off, it reveals he has a beard, and all the girls are looking at him, and he goes, "Oh shit!" Like he's like, "Oh, I got caught. I shouldn't be here." Yeah, that was great. And then Will Smith being Will Smith, where they come up to the palace doors, and he goes, "We ain't gonna stop until the Sultan approves of us." And so the Sultan, they're waiting for the Sultan to kind of tap his hand to the beat, basically. So the hand comes up, and he goes, "Oh, here we go. We're gonna do it. Is it gonna happen? We ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna stop." And then he does it, and he ends it with the final line. It was perfect. I loved Will Smith as it. And then where Aladdin is kind of messing up his lines to try and woo the princess, what I appreciated is Will Smith, instead of being the bee, is just Will Smith going, "Wow, you need to stop talking. Like, seriously, boy, would you stop? Just stop.
Just stop.
Just stop." It was great. Had do you expect me to buy my affections? And he just goes, "Yes." And Will Smith's just like, "Oh damn, you just did that." Like,
totally
just
throws
said
him
that.
under the bus.
It was just great.
He doesn't even try to help him, but he's also trying to like remind him that he is still him
Yeah.
and to stop trying to be somebody else. So he's
Yeah.
not gonna help him. It's sink or swim, kid.
I have to say, the memes about how it's basically Will Smith playing Hitch but with blue skin. I gotta say, you know what? You can crack a joke about that all you want. It worked.
It did.
It really works for this movie. It's better than Hitch, the performance in Hitch, because it's the fucking genie. Like, yeah, it was.
And there's music.
Yeah, it's got better music. So yeah, I really loved it. They kept true to the original animation, and how the story went. They just changed certain things, certain features. Like, one thing to note that I appreciated, aside from the whole Jafar thing, was the genie knew what Aladdin was up to from the beginning, when Aladdin was coaxing Jafar to create himself into a genie. Because instead,
he didn't at first, but he
yeah,
did.
he didn't at first,
caught
and
on.
then yeah, he caught on. And Genie's response when he goes, "Genie, I wish to be an all-powerful genie," and Genie goes, "I mean, there's a lot of gray area in wanting to be a genie, but all right, your wish is my command." Turns him into a genie, and he goes, "By the way, one teeny bitty little problem about that. Phenomenal." And Aladdin goes, "Stupendous power," and then Genie willed as the genie goes, "Teeny bitty living space," and then he gets sucked into the lamp, and that was awesome. The one thing I did miss out on was Iago. As a character, I mean, I understood because they're trying to make a live action, and yes, genies don't exist, but they're trying to make it more realistic. So to have a parrot sound like fucking
Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Gottfried.
it's a little out of it was just a little much, So
The
toned it
dragon,
down.
the dragon parrot was a bit much too. I'm not.
So I would just like to note how freaked out I was by that moment for one simple fact. Jafar transforms him with his new powers so that they can chase down Aladdin and Jasmine, who are trying to run away on the carpet. And he changes Iago, and Iago's body goes fat first. So he just looks like this really bloated turkey soaring through the air at first before turning into a gigantic fucking parrot. I'm like, what the shit?
They gotta get more coffee beer back.
No,
So all in all, it was great. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, Next up is The Lion King, and I'm a little worried, if I'm being completely honest, as J4 sings in the background.
I wonder if he didn't. I wonder if he forgot to mute it. He usually mutes it.
Well,
I wonder if he even knows, or if he's doing that on purpose.
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
So-
totally doing it on that purpose.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, the next up is Lion King, and I am worried, but for only
hold.
one thing that I'm worried about is when I watched that official trailer, the full-length trailer showing scenes. What it looked like to me is when they did animal movies, like back in like the 90s, and the mouths would move, but there would be no facial expressions. Because that's what I saw in this Lion King movie. No facial expressions.
Hold on. Just think. Do you remember when the first like teaser trailer came out for Aladdin, and the initial backlash, and everybody was screaming about Will Smith and the way the genie looked and everything like that? I mean, it's on par with Sonic the Hedgehog, and that
It's
movie.
on par with Henry Cavill's upper lip.
Yes. So, so that's the thing is, I mean, I understand, but you got to remember, in today's society, all these trailers and everything like that, they're just going to show us like a little snippet, a sneak peek. It's not the full finished product. Obviously,
And sometimes it's even things that aren't even completed.
correct. So, I mean, we saw the. Go ahead.
And sometimes that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, look at the first trailer that we saw for Endgame.
Yeah.
And then you go to actually see the movie and how completely emaciated Tony looks when he's on the ship, but that you didn't see that in the trailer because they hadn't finished doing the editing yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Or, well, okay, hold on.
And they wanted to keep the surprise.
I was going to say, we're talking about Marvel. They kept so much a secret. They put the Infinity War
Marvel's
suit on
owned
Cap.
by whom?
Disney.
Yeah, Disney likes things under wraps real hardcore.
But even though they're owned by Disney, you also have to remember that Marvel Studios basically is a separate entity. Kevin Feige and all these guys they're operating under Disney, but they have their own path that they're doing and how they want to do things.
They do, but they also
keep
it at Disney's level.
Nazi level. I'm just kidding.
Disney is good at one thing. If they're good at one thing, they're good at making money.
Absolutely. I mean, they wouldn't still be here if they weren't.
I would just like to note that Nazi joke is hilarious on two anti-Semitic standards, considering Disney himself hated Jews. So I just want to give myself 2 points.
Yay! Oh, my son is sniping me from the kitchen with a Nerf gun.
Disney himself was in a different time period and didn't realize.
I loved the robot chicken sketch where Disney comes out of cryo, and he goes, "All right, what happened during World War II? We won. What about the Jews? They're still around. They got rights and everything. They're still Jews. Put me back in."
Awful. No.
So, yeah. The fuck else are we gonna talk about now? Yeah. So Detective Pikachu, John Wick, and Aladdin. Sounds like a really bad buddy cop movie.
I mean, it could be.
I'll let you imagine how that's supposed to go.
I'm just imagining Detective Pikachu and John Wick going on a rampage.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, okay, so first of all, acknowledging Ryan Reynolds,
there would be nothing left.
Acknowledging that now because we have John Wick, this has to be rated R, right? So I'm already putting Pikachu in a Deadpool suit because it's Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. And as far as Aladdin goes, he's saving those 3 wishes for something serious.
See, if I see Detective Pikachu and John Wick going on a rampage together, I physically have it in my head, the scene from The Hitman's Bodyguard, where Ryan Reynolds is sitting there at the bar complaining about how shitty freaking Samuel L. Jackson is, while Samuel L. Jackson is behind him just like ripping up the entire street, killing a bunch of fuckers.
I
Yeah.
actually I see more Pikachu taking one person and zapping him for an hour while John Wick murders 100.
Yes.
Like, there's just this smoldering ash of what used to be a person, and John Wick comes back and goes, "How many did you kill?" And he's just like, "The one, but that's all I needed." Aladdin, what about you? Oh, nothing.
Wait,
But
what?
I got
I
these
flew
3
above
wishes.
it.
Yeah,
I
right.
flew above it on my magic carpet. I watched
I
it.
can show you the world, shining, shimmering,
Oh,
splendid.
by the way, on Aladdin, instead of, because we had to rewatch the animated one, so in Aladdin they go in through Greece and China, right?
Yeah, we did not break the
We
sound
didn't do that
barrier.
in this live action one.
We
Basically,
didn't
they
break
just
the
went
sound
out to the
barrier.
outskirts of like Egypt or whatever and then swung back around. That was
So it
it.
wasn't. So it wasn't soaring over California or soaring over the
No,
world. Then okay.
no.
No, it was
Because
just
if it was anything like that great YouTube comment where he goes, "Okay, hold on. They're on a magic carpet flying from fucking uh Egypt into
Agrabah. Yeah.
fucking Agrabah to
Agrabah.
Greece to China in a matter of minutes." The speed and force alone would rip your flesh off of your bones. They would not even be, even if they could hang on to the magic carpet, like as it's flying this fast.
Hold.
So I feel like, thank God they didn't go too far with it. Otherwise, it's,
No, they just showed he was just showing her kingdom, which
yes,
it was all about her kingdom instead of
yes, yeah.
Okay, but you're forgetting one major point to this entire argument. Magic carpet. I mean, honestly, I think about it.
yes.
Are we actually arguing physics of a magic carpet?
Yes.
Yes. I
Yes.
don't care if Iago was turned into a dragon-sized parrot. It needs to be more of a parrot, damn it.
It was a fat turkey, apparently.
For a split minute, yes it was.
Okay, so I was watching Kiki's delivery
Kiki's in.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the whole title of the name.
Yeah.
And they were like, and she's on her broom like at the beginning of the movie, and she's sitting there, and then this airplane goes over her, and I was just like, wow, she's got to be really high. It was probably like crop duster. And then started getting into like the thoughts about, I wonder, there's not a lot of witches in their world, but I wonder if there's like flight plans that they're supposed to be on and what level elevation. Like,
Which actually reminds me in terms of airplanes. So the last thing to talk about on this is to give a recommendation. If you haven't heard about it, you're about to hear about it. If you haven't seen it, fucking stop what you're doing right now and go see it. Brightburn. Oh my god. I love that movie. It was great. Essentially the storyline is if Superman, when he was a kid, like age range, like before his dad dies, basically, his parents basically suck at parenting and they try and give advice. And then you know how we translate words, basically, if like you hear something advice and you decide to take it a whole nother way, that's exactly what this movie is, plus some alien mind warping that turns him into a weapon, but that's neither here nor there. This movie's amazing. I'm letting you know it's very grotesque and graphic. Another thing that reminded me was when we brought up John Wick using the book on someone's jaw. The kid throws a guy in a car into something, and his face goes into the steering wheel, mouth open, and the steering wheel just goes right through the fucking jaw, and he tries to hold his mouth together, and then he dies. So that was fun. Yeah, the movie's amazing. The only complaint I have over the movie is the fact that there was not a whole lot of character development for the kid himself. But other than that, Brightburn's a really fun time. Really great, especially if you feel like you're getting burned down on superhero movies. It's a great, little villain movie, basically, that just kind of like gives a big fuck you to all that. It's nice. I really appreciated it. So yeah, go see
So-
Brightburn.
Did it? I didn't get to see it, and I won't. It's not playing here again until the end of next month. But did they? Because watching the previews, they did an interesting job of basically copying the Zack Snyder-esque cinematography and music choice. How they do the lower drawn out tones to build the drama, and it really the way that they did the scenes, basically showing the farms and stuff like that, it really made it look like they were like at first I was like, what are Man of Steel? What's going on here? And then it was like, oh, okay, I get it. This is a cool concept. Did they kind of keep that going with the movie?
It's picture all of what you just described, but better. Because the dark tones only happen when he's doing the evil things he's doing, the killing of the people. And it's great color tone because he's got this, I'll just say it, he takes his blanket, he's like his favorite blanket or whatever, cuts the bottom half of it off to make a mask and sews it shut with shoestring, cuts out holes. So when it's dark out, you see this deep red hooded figure with a deep red cape, and then you see these like very menacing, like a Sith red lightsaber eyes penetrating the darkness, going through the mask. And it's like because of the nighttime esque environment, he doesn't need to color his eyes like Batman or something. It's just dark eyes. It's beautiful. It is amazing. There are certain scenes that are just like, because they're keeping him in a brief minute and in the darkness, the coloring and the shading and everything on the kid when he's doing what he's doing, it is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Was that color theme to the movie, was all of that. Yeah, no, they did a really good job. But everything else just kind of feels like a normal color tone, a normal, world, basically. Yeah, holy shit, that movie is just so fucking bananas. It was great. I highly recommend it. There's no after credits scene, but there is awesome in credits scene, and I will say this, that it was really funny how the kid's being caught on tape by the end of it, right? And there's like leaks on the internet of what the kid's doing. And there's one underwater. There's one in the sky. There's one where he looks like a blur. There's, there's a whole bunch of different ones. And it basically is just, it maps out what would be the evil Justice League because of all of the environments. And it was just kind of a funny little nod to the DC comics with this kid. Because again, this kid really is just, I would not say the Red Sun Superman where he lands in Russia.
No, because in Red Sun Superman, he still thinks he's the good guy.
Yeah, no, in Red
he's trying to.
In Red Sun Superman, he is still a good guy. He's voting for communist Russia, basically. In this one, it's if
how many?
Sorry, Single Dad now has many hats on top of his head thanks to one of his sons.
August.
Wears many hats.
I do.
He wears
How
many
many?
hats.
Okay, there goes my ears. 7.
7 hats.
7 hats with the Pirates of the Caribbean Mickey ears on top.
But to be fair.
To be fair.
He loves hats. I don't know. You gotta actually go with something.
Right. So yeah, no. The fuck was I saying?
If you get distracted by me wearing a hat, dude, seriously, you got some brain power problems.
Shiny object. What?
What did you post yesterday?
I post a lot of things.
I know.
No, Single Dad.
9 stories. Oh, he's even worse. He has like 15 to 20 stories a day.
Oh,
Something.
not-
I need coffee first.
Something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I yeah. Just call me the little engine that I just.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, that was today. Oh yeah, but you're morning. Never mind.
It was yesterday for me.
Time zones.
It is now Thursday morning.
Yes, which, by the way, welcome back
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Missed you.
for now.
Just you guys too.
He's like, I guess you're all right.
So I guess
Rah,
with this
rah.
last minute, we'll do some obvious plugs. We have a Ko-fi account now, so go ahead.
Is
check
that
out
how
our
it's pronounced?
No, it's Ko-Fi.
Ko-Fi.
Ko-fi? I
Ko-fi.
don't fucking know.
Ko-Fi.
Coffee. We have a coffee account.
I thought it was coffee.
So coffee.com / whatever the fuck you guys are calling it these days. I always call it a backslash. People are saying it's a / I'm like,
No, the forward slash goes the other direction.
Slash
Yeah.
goes the other way.
yeah, / goes the other way. So why are we saying / all of a sudden? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, / and it's just Geek Boots Military Nerds. All of it.
Woo!
So go ahead, donate what you can. It's going to take a lot of money as a down payment to get us to monetize the podcast on Podbean. So we are looking for whatever help we can get. It would be much appreciated. And then on top of that, we are going to make an announcement now that it turns out Rose City Comic Con is not in the plans anymore. Sorry, everybody. It's just not. But rest
Life
assured,
happens.
yeah, life happens. But rest assured, stuff is going to happen in September, and we hope to get it out to you as soon as possible because several of us will be meeting, hanging out, getting some photos done. That way we can have prints and we can start selling some prints maybe. That would be kind of cool too. So that's going to be that. And then after that will be obviously Emerald City Comic Con. And
Can we
then
get Maya got us a dolphin suit?
Yes.
Oh God.
a dolphin suit. Oh my God. So yeah,
Are you
Just
guys
to-
planning on going to Emerald City?
these people are, yes. I've been talking them into coming out to Emerald City Comic Con. Why do you make that face? Okay, good. He's smiling. At first, he looked
That's
like
a
he was
happy
doing the
face.
Is
doing
that
the about that smile.
Yeah,
like, we're
about
like,
that.
That's the emoji that people use, and I can never figure out if they're like grimacing or smiling.
right.
Oh,
Exactly.
I use that emoji all the
I
time.
don't
Whenever I'm,
understand
it's
that.
my you smile.
So go ahead, check out Emerald City Comic Con. Tickets normally go on sale in October. We will. I don't know if I can't say if we'll have a booth, but we'll have a meetup area for everybody to hang out because we're still getting our feet underneath us.
A booth sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, booth does sound like a bad idea, but
I don't want to sit in one spot the whole time.
well, that's why we'll hire people. Like I already got a couple of people who would be 100% interested in volunteering time to come help us out. So that's fun, but we will have a panel. So that'll be fun. And then after that, WonderCon.
That reminds me, I've got a panel not this weekend, but next weekend. So
Yes,
That's okay.
Single Dad, why don't you go ahead and tell the folks about WonderCon, time and ticket sales.
okay, so WonderCon is the little brother to San Diego Comic-Con. It happens in Anaheim every year, generally the March-April timeframe. So yeah, tickets go on sale. You have to have a Comic-Con badge account to be able to sign up for WonderCon badges. It's not the same as San Diego, so you don't have to go to a waiting room. It's not a huge process. Badges, the weekend badges, the 3-day and Saturday badges will sell out, but they don't usually sell out until about 3 or 4 weeks before the con. So if you get them like the month that they come out, and they'll go on sale probably here October, November, for March, April. So that way you can get all of your arrangements. But once they come out with the date and everything like that, it's best to go ahead and lock your hotel room in then, just to make sure, because the convention rooms do fill up quickly. So
Sweet deal. And because I forgot, and again, this is the first time we're really doing these announcements and promos. So bear with me as I figure all this out. Emerald City Comic Con is in March. Again, tickets go out on sale usually in October. They sell really fucking fast, so be on your A game.
We're talking minutes.
Yeah, we're talking minutes. This year was a new record with 4 minutes, I believe. Last year was 7 minutes. So it's
but
increasing.
I
Go
was
ahead.
I was in the online queue before they actually went on sale, and by the time I was actually to the screen where I could pick my tickets to buy, we're talking like less than 5 minutes. All the 4-day passes were already gone.
Yeah.
And so like I had to buy single day tickets, and it gets pretty expensive.
Yep. So it gets expensive and the tickets go on sale real fast, but don't worry because they are pretty on top with their social media game. They let everybody know what time tickets are supposed to go on sale and they keep you informed. They'll post about it a lot as it draws near every week, every day. They'll make a post and say, "Hey, just a reminder, tickets are about to go on sale." So you won't miss it as long as you're following their social media, which is pretty awesome. It's a pretty good con. I've gone to it the last 3 years, so I recommend it. If you want to come meet us, 100% totally do it. We will be out and about. At that point in time, I hope to have T-shirts to hand out to people, especially to WonderCon. So yeah. Oh, and I was gonna leave this as a surprise, but we will be getting a new logo soon. I'm in talks with a guy right now, and he's gonna make the artwork for us for like $200. I told him that I want him to take the logo we have, take his artistic spin on it, and make something fantastic that is in his kind of image that we can own. And he said, "Fuck yeah, I'll do it." I'm like, "Sweet." So we're gonna get a new logo that'll be on the T-shirts. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
And business cards.
If you want, you should follow him on Instagram. Let me get out his Instagram right now.
It'd be cool if we had our faces on it, like a chibi version of our faces or something. It'd be adorable.
Or you got to do like personality things, like
yeah,
dolphin for
so
my
check out,
and like Mickey ears on me or something. And
yes. So go ahead, get on Instagram, listeners. Check out lk.designz. He's done a lot of work for Black Rifle Coffee and Drinking Bros, and guys who are around that kind of affiliation. If you, for instance, if you know Vincent Rocco Vargas, who's part of Article 15 Clothing, the movie Range 15, and he's also affiliated with Black Rifle Coffee and Lead Slingers Whiskey. He has done a lot of artwork for him as well. If you submit something to be digitally drawn, he does it for you. A lot of people have had that, and he's done a lot of people's emblems and logos. So it's pretty awesome. He looks like he's got a new one out. Warrior Code, Core, Keys, King, Be the Man event. Yeah, he's got some cool stuff, and remember to honor a cool little design. So he's going to be making our new emblem. We'll get that put on T-shirts as soon as possible, and we'll have them ready by next year when we're at Emerald City and WonderCon. And I guess the last plug is for me personally. I am part of Live Bearded now. I have my own little promo code to help their own company out. So all you got to do when you're typing in a promo code after you're making your first purchase is type in Tom Cruise cosplay, THOMCRUZ cosplay. You get 10% off on your first purchase. I highly recommend spending the $9.99 to get the sample packs to see which one you want, and then do the promo code on whatever one you want to get. So yeah, make your beard smell fantastic, gentlemen.
I miss my beard.
Also,
I miss your beard too.
I'll be going to Denver Pop Culture Con this weekend, so
Huzzah!
If anyone's there, I guess, when this thing drops.
Yeah, right. So if you're like busy, chilling out and doing your cosplay stuff, and you happen to listen to this podcast and you're going to that con, just go hang out and say hello to Cosplay Jenemy. Huzzah!
I'll be with Tentacle Kitty this weekend. So
I'm having flashbacks of our second episode. Why are all these big tentacle monsters chasing me?
Oh, good times.
Anyway, so with a surprise entry from Jay Ford, this is Geek Boots, Military Nerds with Single Dad.
What up?
Cosplay Jenemy.
Yo yo.
The surprising J4.
Toodles.
Mayan Goddess is either counting crayons or eating crayons for homework, either or, but we love her nonetheless. That's so fucked. And I am your host, Tom Cruise Cosplay. Thanks for tuning in for another exciting episode of Geek Boots Military Nerds. Find out what the hell we're going to talk about next week. It'll probably be Godzilla and some other stuff. So,
Yes.
have a good weekend, everybody, and toodles.
Deuces.
Da-na-na-na-na.